Maybe there's just the flickering, you know? It doesn't have to really be moving.
Dude, light.
Yeah,
He's gonna light another one, and it's gonna be fucking gone.
If this was Pulp Cthulhu, I would totally do that.
Same.
The mummy hands you another lit piece of paper on some Scooby-Doo shit. Is he in
Oh God!
The light goes out, and you're looking even harder, and then the light comes back, and you just see an eyeball right there. Oh my
Just scaring me. I'd be horrified.
Kyle's writing it down right now.
Things
Like,
not to
notes,
do.
notes.
Underline.
All right, what is So Luther just had a spooky happening. What is happening with Wallace and Everett, as well as George? George hasn't done anything in a
It
minute.
took me a long time to crawl through
but
that
the paper
tunnel
went
trying
out,
not to
but the
scratch
candle
my
didn't.
Javinskis.
Sorry, I didn't have
Hold on.
specification on that.
What?
I said the paper went out, but did the candle as well?
The candle did not go out, but the candle's not bright enough for you to.
Yeah, for the room. But I just wanted to make sure I wasn't standing in darkness. That's what I was worried about.
Right.
Okay, I apologize. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Yes.
So
as of right now,
I will stand.
Yes.
I will dust
so now
off
George-
my clothing. I will light a cigarette. Using the
What happened to
candle.
the other one you already had lit?
I smoked it.
That was fast, Mr. Wallace.
We were
I'm
in that room
concerned
for a
about your
while.
health.
It's been
We
like
were in that room
half
for
an
a while.
hour.
Also, these are just tobacco. I hand roll these. These
This
are
is like
just
what,
tobacco.
1800? Is this 1890?
No, it's 1924.
1924.
You can
okay.
buy pre-filtered
We're
cigarettes, but I'm rolling.
just
I got
after
money.
the First World War.
Do you roll with... Shut up, Stone. Do you roll with filter or no filter? That tells me a lot about the character.
No filter.
What? You told me
No
shut up,
filter.
ask some dumbass question like that?
No filter. I want the tobacco in my system. I also use, I believe. Oh my gosh, I don't actually have a cigarette holder. So I'm just
Mr.
still
Wallace,
using
if
my
you
hand.
would please roll me a dodge roll.
Sure.
Oh, what?
Let's see.
What?
Dog. What's my dog? 30. Oh. Yeah, it failed that 70.
All right. As you two are standing talking about tobacco, another chunk of the ceiling falls off and lands squarely on your noggin. Not as bad a gash as happened to Luther, but it certainly.
You can't
What
protect
are
me
you
from the
wearing,
ceiling now,
Wallace?
can you? I am wearing. Let's see. It's the 20s, so I'm still wearing pants. But
Still wearing pants.
I'm wearing khaki pants, a light sand-colored shirt, an adventuring scarf, like a white scarf, thrown casually around my neck, and like a pilot's cap.
All right. See, I would have.
Without the
I would have.
goggles.
Ooh, important distinction. If you had been wearing a pith helmet, I would have decreased the damage from 1 to 0.
No, they make my nose look big.
Understandable. So you do take 1 damage as a piece of the ceiling falls and hits you. And as it does, the entire chamber shakes, not violently, but mildly, as if the sands are settling around you.
I will say out loud, ow.
You should feel like a failure.
And then I will take another puff of my cigarette.
Mr. Wallace, are you okay, sir?
Just me telling him he should feel like a failure stressed Colin out a little bit. Out of character.
I'm gonna...
Oh my goodness.
First, I'm going to turn and, looking back into the hole I came out of. Luther! George! Would you come through? And then turning back to the room at large, I'm going to kind of glance around and see what I can see in the dim candlelight from where we're standing.
Is Mr. Wallace bleeding?
Would my experience sway me not to move yet?
Mr. Wallace, would you please allow me to just examine your head real quick to make sure you're okay?
Do I still have my eyes?
As I can see.
Do I still have my nose?
I hope so.
My mouth? My ears?
Yes, sir, but you
Then
might
my
have
head
an
is
injury.
functioning as normal. We may proceed.
As you wish, sir.
I mean, I feel like I just got hit on the head.
They just get
Like,
bonked.
you ever drop a phone on your face? Like, that just happened to me, but with a rock.
Yeah, it hurt a little more than your phone would, but you're not.
Well, Kyle, remember, I have a large phone.
That is true. That is true. You're not bleeding or suffering any status effects or anything.
And then we shall move on.
Not yet.
What do
Not
I
a
see
hematoma.
from the entryway of the room?
From where you stand, about half the room is illuminated by this candle. It is much larger than the hallway, but not too terribly large. You see all of the, in many of the incredible riches that stack from the floor to ceiling. There appear to be, very faintly, there appears to be hieroglyphs on the walls, but they're covered in treasure. You're also able to see the golden chariot in the middle of the room, and along the north wall, you're able to see the great rowboat made of ivory and ebony.
Oh, now that I am interested in. Come, Everett. Luther and George have a candle, so we will take ours, and we will go look at this chariot.
As you wish, sir.
Do I have a minute to go walk my dog?
Did you say a
Actually, I
chariot
can
and
join the
also
call
a
on
boat?
here.
Yes.
Okay, the boat is what I'm really interested in, because I know what that is.
1 second, headphones aren't in yet, but I'm connecting my headphones
So-
to on my phone.
As we approach the boat, what I'm looking for, and maybe you'll want to extract a roll for me, that's fine. I'm looking for any symbology relating to Ra, sun god, the passage that he makes every night, or just death generally. Just any kind of symbology like that. Because I know what these boats are for, usually.
Give me an archaeology roll.
What is the base value of archaeology, Kyle? Is it 5? Because I don't have that skill.
If you would like to argue another skill, you may. The base archaeology skill is 1.
Oh, lovely. Well, I'm specifically looking for symbols, not hieroglyphs, like depictions of Ra, because the ancient Egyptians believed that their pharaohs, who were descended from the gods, in order to reach their final resting place, had to make a journey very similar to Ra's, where they would sail down the river. I think it was the Nile, but it may have been called something else. They had to sail down the river the entire night and survive attacks from monsters and creatures on the opposite sides of the banks, and if they made it to the end, they would reach, functionally, Elysium, where the other gods lived, and join them. So I'm kind of like, it's kind of more like their death mythos is what I'm looking for, you know? Like, that's what I'm really trying to understand. I don't need to know how old the chariot is.
I would let you flavor roll occult for that.
And that none of what I just said is bullshit, by the way, guys. That is true.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's
I
true.
missed all of that.
Dang.
It's not important.
All right. Well, that's good because I rolled a 54 of the 60 that I need.
All right.
Sorry.
So as you approach, you are dumbfounded with this discovery, for it does appear to be exactly as you recall. This is by finding this boat made of ebony and ivory, adorned with great fans of ostrich feather. It confirms that in some capacity, in your mind, this necropolis, despite being hidden in the desert sand, is in some fashion related to a pharaoh's passing on.
Yep.
Quick question about the technicalities of this game. I don't remember who rolled earlier, but they needed like a 40 and they rolled like an 85. Is that like an extreme failure or something like that? Like, does it
The
work
only-
the opposite end of success,
No.
like with failure?
No, the only low 50 then a fumble is a 98, 99, 100. If your skill is above 50, it is a 99 or 100.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I had that question, didn't interrupt earlier, and just it popped back in, so I figured I'd ask.
Another side note for that, if you do roll a fumble, you cannot spend 1 luck to unfumble.
I did fumble earlier.
Yes.
Like the first thing in the game, I fumbled.
Yes.
Woo! So fumbles
Alright, so
and sanity checks, are those the only things that you can't spend luck to try and persuade the lead with? I can't remember what you're called, not
Keeper.
DM in this, but keeper.
Those and
Kyle is our
like
Hagrid.
damage rolls.
Okay.
So as it stands, Wallace is ogling the great rowboat, along with Everett standing nobly at his side. Luther and George.
As far as
we're
by
aware.
the way, I am expounding to Everett in the way that knowledgeable people do. They expound. You're not being explained to. You are being expounded upon the nature of this vessel and its purpose. I'm not going to actually do it. I already did it.
Okay.
And this is something you'll
All
probably be very interested in when you come through.
Yeah. So George and Luther, you're still currently in the other room. What are you doing?
George, you're gonna have to take.
I was making my way through the hole. But I was gonna wait for my companion first.
Your compatriot.
So you're waiting on Luther then.
Mm-hmm. I'm ready to leave.
You're waiting on a man who, for the moment, can't give you a cue because he's walking his dogs.
Yes.
Lovely.
But I suppose while I wait, there's not much to do left in here. I don't think he's already looked at the hieroglyphics, and I can examine the treasure that I took. That's what I will do.
Are you in the hole or just sitting next to it?
Standing.
Okay, that would be very funny if you're just sitting in the hole between the two rooms, like, ooh,
That would be very funny.
what is this do?
I didn't mean to say loot earlier. I meant to say I wanted to examine them, but I said loot because I got excited.
Oh, I'm sorry, those
You
are so close
definitely
together in
didn't.
the dictionary.
No. I said
when
loot.
L is
Well,
for examine.
No, When I said that they appear quite valuable, and Phil said that doesn't mean anything to me. You said, like, it was like, well, it means a lot to me. I'm going to immediately loot that
Yes,
shit.
you did. You did.
It does mean a lot to me. I'm an archaeologist.
Yes, and you took it.
Yeah.
You disturbed it.
Examine.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm sure you will examine it thoroughly, and then it will end up in someone else's private collection in about 8 months.
You don't know that.
I don't, but I can assume.
Yeah. Well,
I know you haven't
you're
had
wrong.
much success.
It belongs in a museum.
Your museum.
Wallace and Everett, give me a listen roll.
Alright, what do I hear? Not a damn thing, Kyle. I'm too busy jabbering. That was a 65. Everett! Oh, he's still muted.
Yes, sorry.
What's your listen roll? Oh, this is emo Colin, by the way, just so you know.
Yeah.
A 80.
No, that's an 8.
That's an 8.
You rolled
Oh,
0, 0
0,
is
0,
the 10th place.
Oh, excuse me. That
So-
would 800.
All right, he rolled an 800. Kyle, does that mean he wins?
Yes. All right. So, is that an extreme for you?
What's your listen? Well, with listen,
20.
what is your smallest number?
10/4.
Okay, so not an extreme.
No, but it is a hard. You're kind of, your boss is talking, and so you're smiling and nodding, but you're not really gleaning any of this information.
The key to being expounded.
While you're being expunged all over, you
Emulsified.
yeah, you think you notice scratching or a grinding coming from the darker half of the room.
Ooh. Mr. Wallace. Hold on for a second. No mean to interrupt.
And then the crocodile. The what?
Do you hear that?
No.
Okay. I turn towards the noise. Do I see anything in that area? I hold the candlelight up towards it. I walk a foot. I just step a few feet ahead of me and hold the candlelight up. Do I see anything?
The candle is very dim. Give me a spot hidden with a penalty die. So that's roll
Roll two,
twice and we
take the
take the
lowest.
worst.
Or the highest.
Uh, 28,
Roll again.
37.
37. So that's a fail. Oh wait, no. What's your spot hidden? I did your listen.
Spot hidden's 45, I think, right?
45.
There you go.
22 over 9.
Yeah, so
regular.
it's a regular success. And you're not able to discern that there's anything that wasn't there before or moving.
What is in this dark corner of the room? I previously examined the room, so I should know what was over there.
Yes, so as you near the darker half of the room, you have the broken archway into the room you did not explore, and you also have the two animal-headed statues that are seemingly standing on either side of another large sealed archway like the one you crawled through.
I guess I'll be moving kind of behind him because he's taking away the light for me to look at the boat.
Right.
So I'm just in, I almost called him Ephraim. I'm just in Everett's periphery. Just kind of glancing
so
about
you're-
now.
So you're in you and Everett are standing thank you. Are standing next to each other. Wallace, you're a bit.
Where indeed are George and Luther?
Yes.
And with that, I think it would be unfair if we didn't take a break to allow for Luther to come back. I don't think it'd be fair for him to stand completely still for the next 20 minutes.
And Luther
He's just
stood
so
still.
shocked that he thought he saw a mummy move behind the wall.
I guess I'll hit the.
I mean, like we.
Gazing, like almost like a drunkenly happy gaze as I look around, just in awe at everything around me as I take it in before I go through the whole last.
DJ Khaled suffering from success.
All right. So
That's actually George's character. with his hand covered in necklaces and idols that he just wanted to examine, suffering from success.
Of course, of course. As you both crawl through the hole, you notice Wallace and Everett slowly and cautiously making their way eastward in this room, visible due to their candlelight.
I would pick up on it being cautiously.
I would say so.
That was
yeah.
a suggestion.
Then is there anything? Is there anything I could roll for me being on edge from seeing them being cautious, like a perception check? But for this game, do I have
Yeah,
perception?
you could roll these nuts across your forehead.
Oh my god, you're so original.
I would rule that intelligence.
Can I roll an IRL sanity check for Colin's terrible joke?
No, but it is an automatic failure.
Ah, damn.
I thought it was good, guys.
That's it, Colin. When I go on my murderous rampage, you're on the list.
Ooh, that's a good one. I only needed a. My intelligence is a 60, so.
All
Hard
right.
success.
So yeah, I would say that you are experienced enough to be able to kind of glean these slow movements and place yourself on edge.
Okay, cool.
You
I am
recognize
going to make my way
tension and
towards
caution
them.
from when you had to defend your thesis.
You know me, baby, suffering from success.
Because you're there, Colin.
Oh, could you hear that?
Yes.
Now,
It's
let-
hot
let-
in my kitchen.
As so we have Luther and George crawling through. Wallace and Everett, as you approach the east side, are you walking past the open doorway?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. It's my first time seeing it. So, I would not know that it is there until I can see it.
Yeah. I'm not leaving Mr. Wallace, so yes.
I
suppose
guess
will
the
be
question
walking
is-
past the doorway.
At what point do I see the door or the hole in the wall?
I would leave that up to role play. Do you think you're so asphyxiated by what you
I hope I'm
didn't
not
even hear a
asphyxiated. There's
noise?
plenty of air in here.
That's fair.
You
Are you
asphyxiated?
I mean, are you? Are you so fixated by your companion's sudden change in behavior that you think you would miss something like this?
No, I'm not focused on him, to be honest. Just because, from my perspective, I'm lecturing essentially about the boat, and then Everett says, "Did you hear that?" And then he turns around and starts walking away with the candle. So I'm kind of miffed, like, "Excuse you, I was speaking." So I turn around to follow him, but I'm not looking at him really. I don't think I'm picking up any cues from him. So I would see this hole in the wall and go, "Oh, what is that?"
Righto. Then you notice the large hole in the wall as well as I'd say
In fact, I would not ascribe caution to anything I have just done, because I have no reason to be cautious.
That is fair. That is fair. I don't think you really. You can see that there is a large opening in the wall. If you wanted to see more in the dim light, you would need a spot hidden.
Everett, what's with the hole in the wall?
I thought I heard something coming from it.
Oh, Very interesting. I'm gonna turn to face the hole, not in the wall, the one we came through, and go, George, Luther, are you coming? And like, not super loud, but in a voice that carries, so it's definitely audible.
I think when they make their way in here, sir, we should proceed with caution.
Indeed. My effort. You saw these statues and didn't say anything to me.
Oh, rip him a new one!
Well, sir, you just seem so infatuated with everything. I didn't want to interrupt your
Well,
excitement.
effort, that's the god. So
We are moving forwards, and George is in front of me on the way in.
Wallace, are you approaching the statues?
yes, I will step around whatever this pile of loot is, like in front of the hole in the wall. I'll go in further into the room rather than close to the hole. And I'm just gonna I'm not gonna go out of the range of his candlelight, but I'm gonna get in front of him now and look at Sobek and then look back at him expectantly, well, let's go look at it.
Right.
Because I'm trying to see stuff. Well, Everett,
I'm sorry, I didn't.
come closer, my good man. You have the candle.
Oh, okay, that's what you wanted. Approach him with the candle.
I'm kind of 2 steps ahead of him, moving as he moves until I get
Cautiously.
to examination distance of the statue, so maybe 5 feet away.
Right.
Just kind of looking him up and down. So I see the
As
crocodile
you-
statue and the other one.
As you approach the statue of Sobek, the dim candlelight begins to cascade over the statue, and you begin to realize that this is not a statue at all. What you are looking at is a mummified man impaled on a long spear. His head haphazardly chopped off and replaced with the head of an alligator, crudely sewn on, and no kind of rhyme or reason seeming so. Give me a sanity roll.
Okay.
One from you as well.
That's a failure.
What
oh.
is my sanity? San 50?
I roll a 95.
Ooh.
Oh shit, that went off the table.
We've introduced Colin to the concept of the USB camera.
I could just do it back on my phone, but we all remember how that was.
That's true.
86.
That's 2 failures.
All right.
Where-
Both of you take 1 D2 of sanity loss.
Oh, a D2. I don't have a coin. Hold on.
Oh.
Here's a coin.
All right.
Alright.
Wait a
Heads 1, tails 2. 1.
All right.
Oh,
You
wait.
lose 1
Do we-
point of sanity.
Do we actually take a D2?
Yeah.
Yes.
What the hell is a D2?
Would you like
I
me
don't
to
have
flip a
that.
coin for you?
Yes, please.
A D2 is a coin.
Okay.
Alright,
I was
hold on.
like,
I have to
I
actually
was-
catch it. Colin, I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna say flip and then call it while it's in the air. So, is a heads,
call
a
heads or
1,
tails?
or a 2? Alright, ready? Flip.
heads.
Is it a 1 or a 2?
Oh, it's a 2.
Okay, you lose 2.
Oh shit. So what do I mark down? I have a pencil.
I just
This is very
wrote
helpful.
-2 sand.
Oh, that's what it is. -2 sand. So
Yeah.
now I'm 48. Well, I gained
Okay.
that back.
So I'm shocked by this discovery, but it's the sickened yet curious meme, Kyle.
Mhm.
I'm sickened, but I'm incredibly interested. This looks like this has a cult written all over it to me. This is some kind of weird ritual to please the god Sobek or something. I want to learn more about this and the kind of weird, dark, aura around it.
Right. As you look, you do also notice that the alligator-headed man is holding a kopesh, while in the off to the edge of what your candle is able to see, but the jackal-headed, presumably also a man, is holding a large battle axe.
Now, are these bodies? These are old corpses.
They're mummified.
Correct? Okay, mummified.
On a completely unrelated note, I want a Kopesh, but like in real life, because I think they're sick looking. You know.
That's fair.
But Wallace would not want a Kopesh because it seems terribly impractical to carry a sword.
Oh, it certainly does.
I
And
don't even carry an umbrella. I have a man for that.
Can you describe these
one-
statues to me again?
So I'll do you one better. I'll establish this whole half of the room so that you get a recap and Wallace gets to see it for the first time. But there are two large quote unquote statues. They are actually, as you can see it, mummified men impaled on long spears to hold them upright. Their heads being replaced, one with that of a crocodile, the other with that of a jackal. The guards are both holding weapons, and between them, there is a stone slab similar to the one you crawled under, but much larger, covered in similar sigils and runes.
Are there any more ignitable looking objects, like any kind of old torches or anything like that in this side of the room?
Give me a luck roll.
Sure.
Now, can I?
Okay, hold on. I actually don't know what that was. I'm just gonna re-roll that because it flipped. A 4.
Yes, I would say you have perhaps early parchment. Mummies are certainly flammable.
I'm not going there. I want to learn a lot of things, but not how really old corpse smells when you light it on fire.
As you're looking around, there are sealed jars. Most of them, filled with they're sealed. You can't quite tell, but some of them are open and appear to be not filled, but they appear to have an oil in the bottom from whatever used to be in them before they were opened.
Right. Okay. So the potential is here to make a fire. I will note that.
We will move back to George and Luther, and immediately as you all enter into the antechamber, which is where we are now.
Man standing behind us.
That's right, it's spooky. There's a spooky guy.
But it's okay because I collect all of the pages. I don't know anything about Slender Man.
Everyone, give me a listen roll.
Ooh. I'm not
All of
talking
us,
this time,
including
so
us,
maybe
even
I'll
though
do
we're not in the
something. Oh, that fell
Yes.
off the table. All right, so that was a
12.
That was a 41, which is still a fail.
I have a 12.
And is that a regular, hard, or extreme success?
For me, I have.
Woo!
I don't know.
What is your
20%?
smallest number? Okay, it would be it's a
Mine's hard.
just a
4.
regular, is that?
Mine's
All
hard,
right.
Because a
so-
10 would be a hard.
Hey, I got a 10.
There you go.
No one cares about you, Stone.
George,
Yes.
roll a listen check.
Colin, you're not intelligent enough to know what's going on. You just walk around with a gun.
That's so true. Shitted on my character.
George, don't hear shit.
All right.
Wait. I don't hear shit.
When it comes
Okay.
down to it, the one with the gun is the
George, the
matters,
odds
okay.
that you had maxed out your listening
I'm going
skill.
to hit you with a quote from them earlier. Guns aren't going to kill the normal.
I want to use 60
That's
luck.
a rough quote. That's not exactly a rough quote.
Guns aren't gonna kill them normal.
No, the abnormal.
All
You're
right.
not gonna kill a demon with a gun in it.
So Luther, as you're kind of scrambling in after George, being just fixated on everything around you, you seem to notice from the far end of the room where you can see Wallace and Everett standing in their dim candlelight, there seems to be a grinding or a dragging sound. It's faint, but certainly noticeable to you.
And
Is
I
this
don't
the same sound that
and I don't
heard?
see. Or can I the spot hidden?
You can.
That's not an
That's
extreme. That's
spot
all.
on.
How far are you off an extreme?
2.
Just saying.
I'm not spending any luck on nothing, dog.
Save
I
it
might
for
need
with
that
Christmas.
shit
a-
to live.
With a hard spot hidden, looking around the room for what may have been causing it, the sound, you see the same thing that Everett would have seen. You notice that there are several artifacts in this room that seem to be knocked over haphazardly, as well as the ground off to the north being covered in plaster. But
do
no,
I see
nothing
what's
that indicates.
making the grinder.
Certainly not.
Well, indeed. I guess I'll turn
What do you-
to get more of a view of the room and see the two finally coming out of the hole. The first George and then Luther. Ah, finally.
Who is holding the candle out of those two?
It's Drew. Oh, it's Luther.
Actually,
It's currently Luther.
Luther, but he's behind George.
yes.
So there are two candles lit currently. Luther's, which is getting rather low, and Everett's, which is still got a fair bit amount to burn.
How long? And can I feel the air getting any thinner?
I believe that question was how long have we been in this room? But it did drop
No, it
all
was
of those
how long-
words for me.
It feels like it was how long is the candle gonna burn?
Did y'all not hear that?
No.
No.
Sorry. How long have we been in here in total? And is the air getting thinner? Can I feel that?
This is
It's
a
getting
bigger
harder
room.
to breathe, mate.
It's not
It's a pretty good
noticeably.
Maroon 5 song.
It's not noticeably harder to breathe. Although the ash from the smoke rather from your candles, as well as the cigarettes, does seem to be pooling at the top of the antechambers. You can see
It's
it.
only 2.
You've been in here for quite a while at this point. Long enough that you may begin to be feeling peckish.
I will take a sip from my water flask.
Except for Luther, he ate beef jerky.
You know me, baby. Always up with the jerkin.
I would quite like to know what is beyond that large broken gateway.
I'd say my I would also be a little bit curious and be walking towards the corner that has the grinding noises.
Luther, my good man, there is so much in here you would be interested in. There is a vessel to carry the dead. There are these crude statues of a kind. I don't know what else to call them. Effigies, perhaps. This one was a man. Now it is Sobek. That one was a man. Now it is some kind of jackal, maybe Anubis. I'm not sure. Treasure scattered all about the place, and lots of symbology, but it's covered in treasure.
George, do you approach alongside Luther?
I do.
All right. As you two approach Wallace, and his infatuated speech, you notice the finer details of the animal-headed statues, and I'm gonna need a sanity roll from both of you.
I guess I was fairly
Me,
cavalier
correct?
with the description that this one was a man.
Yes.
Oh well, he's moved on.
$56.
What's your sanity, George?
Damn it! That's a 60.
George.
40.
George, what is your
Alright,
sanity?
so both
All right.
fail.
Yeah, you both take 1d2 of sanity loss.
I throw up.
You throw up from seeing a singular corpse. I'm so sorry. Stone, do you have a coin? Oh, there you go. You can do it that way.
You have to.
George, you have to say roll.
All right, you both lose 2 sanity.
Poor bastards.
So my sanity goes to 62, correct?
If it was 64.
I thought it was the other way. Like you gain.
You lose.
No,
you
you
lose
lose.
sanity.
Because you have to roll against that number, so it's disadvantageous for it to get smaller.
Oh, it goes up.
No,
No.
that's literally not what I said.
Oh,
If the number got higher, it's easier to succeed on a sanity check. Do you understand that?
oh yeah, I understand.
So
now.
it gets lower, making it harder to succeed on a sanity check. Drop the coin.
All right. So, yeah, you have now both witnessed and gotten over more or less the frankly disturbing sight of these statues as Sir Wallace begins to motion you towards the large open room at the top of at the north of the room you're in. Do you all follow Sir Wallace into this room?
I think I shall.
So
I
I'm,
think
I'm
it's a
speaking
great idea.
in kind of a low tone to my compatriots as we walk toward the entrance. Not out of caution or anything, because I just don't feel any kind of threat, but out of reverence. You know, the Egyptians had the right idea, I think, about preparing yourselves for the afterlife. Because the Judeo-Christian ideal is that one dies, and then they go to heaven or to hell, and that's it. They just exist. The Egyptian way is much more interesting. You die, and then you must go through this trial, and if you succeed in the trial, after your death, you may go to heaven.
And as you are giving your thoughts on this, you enter the room, and everyone who's not you notices that there is at the foot of a curious religious object of some description, a very discernible clothed human skeleton. And with that, we will end the session for tonight.
Oh my god!
The booty.
Ah!
Pretty solid, pretty solid.